Here's how to put eyelashes on a porcelain doll of two different types. So this one's got her eyes closed and this one's got her eyes open. This one's also got old lashes on there, so I'm going to remove them as well. You have your new lashes ready to go, and I've just got a bit of PVA glue and popped just a little bit on the eyelash plastic, and we wait about 5 or 10 minutes for that to go a bit tacky, because then it will actually help us stick the eyelashes to our little dolls. You need some tweezers. I use tiny little ones, and you need a little pair of scissors and just some toothpicks. Nothing flash with the toothpicks, they just help. So to take our eyelashes off this doll here, we just grab the ends of it as best you can. Now these are a little bit old and frail, so I'm just picking away at the end, and you should be able to grab it. Well, this one's very well glued on, and you'll grab like the little string part and just pull it off like that. And I'm going to do the other side. So just get the tweezers and gently pull it off. Now we can clean her up with some eucalyptus oil, just plain eucalyptus oil, and I use a cotton bud because these ones are the ones with the pointed tips. I like them better, just work a bit better, and just give it a nice clean in there, because the glue does get a little bit yuck after a while. And she's looking pretty good. Maybe just a little bit more in there and in there. Okay, now I'm going to wait till her eucalyptus dries off a little bit before I want to put any glue on her. So we're going to do this little one first while we wait. Alright, pop you over here. So this little one here, she's got eyes open, and we're going to do her top lash. Just make sure that she's there. So what we want to do first, and I'm actually going to use these narrow little skinny ones for her, and all eyelashes have a bit of a curl to them, so we've got to make sure that they curl upwards rather than downwards, otherwise it will look terrible. So we gently just get our tweezers and just start from the end and gently pull that off. And what you want to then do, sometimes the end has a little bit of glue on it. You can try and fight it, or you can just cut it off like I do. And we want to measure somewhat precisely. So we're sticking that eyelash in her eye, and we just want to get a little measure of how long we need that eyelash. So I've used the tweezers just to work that out, and I'm going to snip it just the other side of those tweezers. Pop the rest of that eyelash back there because I can actually use it for the other side. Now I've got my little bit of eyelash. I don't even think the camera picks that up, but it's on there. And this one curls this way, so we want to make sure that when we put it on, I'm putting it on so the curl goes up, not down. We get our bit of eyelash, and the part that's got the string in it, just going to straighten out one of these little end ones that's got a bit crimped, and we grab our little gentle eyelash, grab your glue, which should be tacky by now, and just gently run that, just so that you get a little bit of glue just on the edge. If you get too much, oops, I've dropped it. If you get a bit too much, you just sort of wipe it off along the edge. And we want it to be tacky, so not too thick. So yeah, there we go. You can see that one there a little bit. Okay, so then we get Our doll, we make sure that our eyelash is curling the right way. I get a toothpick and I hold her little head. And we just kind of try and poke that lash gently around her eye. Now it's a little bit fiddly, and today is really hot, so the glue is not as tacky as I would like it. I'm just going to hold it there with my fingernail instead. And I've got a corner in, and you just gently work it. Oh, this one is failing terribly. There we go. Just gently work it. I've got this is how hot it is. I've got the eyelashes stuck to me. Right, just gently work that around and gently push this corner in here. Just take your time, don't rush it. Doesn't matter if you get a bit of glue on her eye, because we can clean that up afterwards. And we want to use one toothpick to hold it in there so it doesn't come out when you push the end of it in. Now, I've cut that just a little bit too long, so I can trim that one back while that's still sticking up in the air. Just gently cut about that much off, I reckon. And then holding that bit on her inner eye, just gently fitting the rest of it all the way around, gently poking it through. Now, it doesn't matter if the whole thing doesn't stick down all at once, because today that's not going to happen, because it's about 38 degrees and the glue has other ideas. So I've got half her eyelash stuck, I don't know if you can see that very well, stuck to her inner eye. And then when that dries, we can come back with our toothpick and our bit of glue and just run it along the inside of her eye, and then just push down this other bit here. So I'm going to try and do the other side while the wind's now blowing. And I just get that, I make a little measure of approximately how big we need to make it. Stick my tweezers where I reckon it needs to be, and I just cut. So we just get the little lash, and we just give it a little cut there. Oops, that didn't cut very well. Let's try it again. There we go. Okay. So with my tweezers, I grab the lash. Gosh, I know it's hard to see, but it is there. And then I get the glue again, just holding gently onto the end of the lash. Get the tacky glue, gently just dab that bit of base of the eyelash through. And to get a little bit of glue on there. And we get our little doll, turn her little head, and pop the eyelash in the crease. I use the toothpicks because it is just that little bit easier than your fingertips. So just gently poke it around, gently hold it in. Tackiness of the glue should help, but today it's too hot to be tacky. So I'm going to do her in two parts. Gently take off your toothpick so that hopefully when you take your toothpick off, it doesn't take the eyelash off with it. Okay, so I've got one side of the eyelash is on the inside glued, and this eyelash here is on the outside glued. So I'm going to come back to her in a minute, give her just a couple of minutes to dry off in this heat, and we'll do her again in a moment. Now, while I'm waiting for that one, we'll do this little darling. So I'm just going to make sure she's got no glue left in. She's got quite deep set places to put her lashes, which is probably a little bit handy. So her lashes, I'm going to use these longer type. I gently just grab the end and just gently pull it off. Now it doesn't matter if you squash a couple of lashes at the end because you're going to cut them off anyway. So gently pull that off. There we go. Get your glue. It should be well and truly tacky by now, and unless it's 38 degrees. Run just that end bit of the lash through your glue. Just a little bit too much, so you just wipe that off. Still a little bit too much. And then we just grab our toothpick, line it up with the crease of her eye, and pull it down like that. See how much easier hers was to do than that other one. And just push a little in there. Now, like I said, don't worry too much if you get a bit of glue everywhere, because you can clean that off later with a bit of eucalyptus oil. And then one of her lashes is sticking up weirdly, so I'm just going to fiddle with that to try and get that a bit flatter. Get that in the right spot. She's happy there. Grab my toothpick. I hold where I think I want to cut it, and I'll just cut, just gently trim that one. It's just coming out, so just slide it along a little bit more and cut another little bit off the end of that. Just slide it out. And cut that bit, and then I just slide that along, push that down, and that is her eyelash on. So that one was the easy one. Now we'll go back to this little one here. So she's in focus now. So I've got to put the end of her here and the inside of her here. So using one of those toothpicks, grab your glue. Got eyelash stuck to me, and I just stick the end of the toothpick in the glue, so you get just a little ball of the glue on the end, and just gently put a little bit of glue just either on the inside of her eyelid or just on the end of that lash, and on her other side just get a bit more glue, and just on the inside of her eyelid there. And I'm going to use a fresh toothpick to push those eyelashes in where they need to be. So just pushing that one down, holding it there for a moment so that it tries and sets just a little bit. And that one doesn't really want to go where it wants to go today. And this one, just poke that one down. That one went really easy. No, it didn't. Come back off. Okay. And just push that just gently. So take your time. Use the tackiness of the glue. Push that eyelash into its little socket where it's supposed to be in the eyelid. So the glue will stay tacky for a little while. You've got plenty of time to work with it. And this one, I'll just try this one again, see if this one wants to go down yet. And just pushing that one. Yeah. I And I'm going to let this side dry completely before I have another go at the end. It's just a bit too hot today for that glue. But this one here's worked really well. So we've got her lash on there, and then all you need to do is get a cotton bud, a bit of eucalyptus. When they're completely dry, just gently wipe over her eye. If the eye goes a little bit cloudy, don't panic, it's okay. You can just give it a little wipe with a bit of gentle solvent, just in case if you do get copious amounts of glue. And if the eye goes really, really cloudy and the solvent or the eucalyptus doesn't work, a bit of clear nail polish always sorts it out. So I hope that helps. Good luck. It's a little bit fiddly and the hot weather does inhibit it.